The sport of lacrosse is a very special game. It was a gift to us from the creator.
It's a game that's about respect, and mostly it's the medicine game.
We use this game for when there's hurt in the community and there's medicine needed.
Giving back to whoever is sick or whoever is needing it.
So when you have like your stick in your hands, you're there not to just play for yourself and make yourself look good. It's a game that you're supposed to play for those who can't anymore, or for those who aren't here with us anymore.
I feel like it brings us all together, and it just creates this energy and this aura when we're playing that kind of just brings you together and like strengthens bonds and creates families.
Like when you step onto a field, or you're just doing like wall ball or whatever it is with your stick, it kind of brings like more joy to your life.
Well, I can't really explain what it means to me fully, but it really is a medicine game.
The sport of lacrosse is so embedded in the Niagara region, so it was important to me that we honor lacrosse, especially on a day of truth and reconciliation. So what we're doing is spending the day learning about and honoring the sport of lacrosse.
The game is really important to Indigenous people across Canada. Lacrosse is what they call a medicine game, so it is used to honor those who came before us and play for those who can no longer play. So if you guys just come out with an open heart and just give it your all, I think that'd be really appreciated, and I hope you guys have some fun.
That was the right idea though. That was the right idea.
The game of lacrosse was given to the Haudenosaunee people from the creator as a gift.
First actual game dates back to what is essentially our creation story for us, between the creator and his brother. But then the first game that wasn't played by them was between animals, and it gave all the animals like different abilities. So what they have, like you look at a deer, they're fast. You look at a bear, they're big and strong. Turtle, they can handle anything really.
The wooden stick was used to represent like our connection to the earth and animals and life.
It's just a big difference in how the game has grown, switching from wooden sticks to like what we use as plastic and metal shafts, helmets, gloves. Because before it was just a wooden stick, and that was it, a wooden stick and a ball.
So much history has been lost in terms of just the way that, unfortunately, history has treated Indigenous individuals, especially in the Niagara region. It's important as we look to move forward together that we honor a sport that is continuing to grow. It's important to draw more light and awareness, bring more wants and desire to play the sport.
I think a lot of people's goals now is to grow the game and then share that game that they were gifted.
To us it's a gift, and we just want to gift that to whoever. Like going to high schools is for us a gift to them, because like I said, gift to us to gift to the world.
Where's your dad? Where's he lurking?
Personally, I've always been super connected to lacrosse. I've played many sports growing up, but I always just loved playing lacrosse. I've always felt that it's just something that I want to do forever.
Playing lacrosse allows me to play not only for myself, but for my community back home and for my ancestors.
It's a big thing, like it's always around us. And that you drive on the reserve, you can drive by anybody's house or whatever. Half the time they'll probably have a lacrosse net. So we're basically surrounded by it.
Lacrosse at Brock has helped me to have a second family. Like, it's helped me at times to not be homesick because I live 3.5 hours away from here. And so there's not always time to be able to go home to my community and be able to see my family. And during the season, I find that lacrosse really gives me the strength to continue through school. Whereas other times without lacrosse, it's been a challenge.
For the Brock community, it's mostly just trying to show, like, you know, we're still here, we can play this game too. Especially as a First Nations member, you don't really see many here. And me personally, I just want to think, like, if a couple of us are here, soon it could be a lot of us here and we could all be playing.
The National Day for Truth and Reconciliation is a day to honor and respect the children and the survivors of those who didn't come home from the Indian residential school system in Canada.
It's really important because it acknowledges kind of that dark past that Canada does have and doesn't always necessarily like to talk about. It's important especially because it's a lot more recent than I think people realize.
They should also recognize that all Indigenous people have been affected by residential schools.
Where I lived most of my life on the reserve, you could drive to Brantford and there's a residential school still standing up. Just, you can walk in. Grandmother on my mom's side, she lived along the river on the far side of the reserve. Sometimes some kids are running along it, just trying to get away from that.
Like, my grandparents attended residential school, and there are a lot of survivors across Canada. And we should recognize their strength and the resilience they had, that they're still here. But also recognizing the people and the children that did not come home to their community.
And not only the children that didn't get to come home, but the generational trauma, I guess you could say, that it's now experienced. So, like, I don't know the language of my people. Like, my great grandma and like family before them didn't want to talk about it and like didn't really like talking about it because they wanted to hide that part of their identity so that they didn't have to kind of experience that part of it. So I think it's really important to talk about like how much culture and like identity was lost.
So I think it's really important for not only our Indigenous communities and people in the Niagara region and at Brock, but I think it's important for everyone to recognize the history behind how we got to be here as a country and the steps that we still need to take moving forward.
The orange jerseys is an idea we had when everyone started to talk about Orange Shirt Day and started to wear orange shirts on September 30th for Truth and Reconciliation. But I said they should get orange jerseys and they should play a game on that day. And then I remember last year he told me, like, hey, we're getting orange shirts, we're getting orange jerseys, and we're playing a game on that day.
Playing lacrosse on the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation is important as an Indigenous person to me, just because I spoke about it being the medicine game. It's very healing for a lot of us who play.
I think it's really important to acknowledge because it does bring medicine to the people. So not that people have healed or have moved on from this, but to acknowledge a beautiful thing that people were given on a harsh day is a good way to educate people about it in a way that is enjoyable and makes people want to care.
What makes me proud is that I can play the sport I love and I'm growing up with, and also like really have my heritage out there. And it just really shows like who we are, who we can be.
I think it's important because it allows not only us, but everyone in the community to remember and to consider again why we're here. And this recognition is required for reconciliation.
For me personally, it's always playing for the people that played before me, people that are playing now, and the people that are playing after. The kids that played then, now, and after I'm gone. The kids that went to these schools and never came back is really what hits home for me. A lot of kids grow up thinking, and they can see these athletes and think, I can do that too.